is the wind and the leaves, and discussed and checked our homework also. You got the information of the poet, literary terms used in the poem, summary of the poem, and we had also discussed short introduction of subject-verb agreement in our previous lesson. This much we discussed in our previous class. Today, I will discuss and introduce what are the singular and plural verbs. What are the singular and plural verb forms? We discuss about this information, and I will also describe some rules related to subject-verb agreement. Be ready, students. Now listen to the lesson carefully. Today's lesson is grammar. You know that is the concord. Means subject-verb agreement. The relationship between the subject and the verb is called subject-verb agreement. The verb must agree with its subject in number and person. It means if the subject is singular, the verb must be singular. Likewise, if the subject is plural, the verb must be plural in form. In the case of noun, we discussed about it in our previous class also. The naming word that describe one, that is singular. The naming word that describe more than one is plural. For example, Ram and Sita, it is personal pronoun. It is a personal noun also. And Ram and Sita, it is plural. There are the Ram and Sita, two persons are there. Ram, if only, that is singular. Likewise, in the noun, cat, it is singular. If we add s or es, cats, it is plural. In noun, it is plural. Only one is called singular if the noun refers or represent only one. That's meaning. If the meaning gives only one is singular, more than one is plural. Simply we must understand about this. Generally, by adding s or es, we can change the singular noun into plural noun. For example, book, box, cow and day. I am going to take this example. B-O-O-K book, B-O-O-K-S books, it is plural. B-O-O-K book is singular, it refers one, only one. And likewise, B-O-O-K-S books is plural. In noun is plural noun. Likewise, B-O-X box, B-O-X-E-S boxes is plural. C-O-W cow is singular, C-O-W-S cows is plural. D-A-Y day is singular, D-A-Y-S days is plural. In the case of noun, we must understand simply it is the rules to find out the singular and plural noun. There are a lot of rules to check the or to understand the noun and the singular and plural nouns, that and other things. Okay, while taking class previously, Dhansher Chamling Rai had asked a question. The question is, what is singular verb? Then what is plural verb? Please define it. That is the question. Now I am going to discuss about the verb. You can get your questions answered. Please listen carefully, thoroughly. In the case of verb, shortly we discuss about the main and auxiliary verb first. In the case of verb, shortly we are going to discuss about the main and auxiliary verbs. The main verb is doing work that has its one meaning, not like the auxiliary verbs. It has 5 forms. Verb 1, verb 2, verb 3, verb 4 and verb 5. These are the 5 forms of verb. Among them, the verb 1 is verb 1 or infinite verbs, that is singular verb. We must say it is the form of singular. In verb 5, by adding s or es in verb 1, we can make the verb verb 5 formal. So that the verb 5 is plural, it is used as a plural subject also. But we must say the verb 2 is used for all types of subject, for singular subject also, for the plural subject also, so that other verb 3 and verb 4 they cannot use or they can't agree with subject also. So that we must discuss about the verb 1, verb 2 and verb 5. We discuss about it. Verb 1 we must call singular, verb 2 plural, and verb 5 plural, and verb 2 is used for all types of subject, means all for singular subject also, for the plural subject also verb 2 is constant. But you must understand, the students, remember one major information is that in noun if you add s or es, it changes into plural. In noun if we add s or es and we make the singular noun into plural. But in verb if you add s or es, it makes singular, just opposite we get. So that I am going to take one example also, to give one example. cut, cuts. Cut is plural form of verb. Cut is plural form of verb. Listen carefully. Cut is plural form of verb. It is verb 1. Cuts is singular form of verb. So that we must use cut is plural form of verb. It is the real answer. Listen, cut is plural form of verb. Cuts is singular form of verb. Cut is plural. In the case of noun, listen, in the case of noun, cow is singular. We add s at the last of cow. cows is plural. In the case of noun, just I said, in noun if you add s or es, it changes into plural. In verb if you add s or es, it changes into singular form of verb. So that cut is plural, cuts is singular form of verb. cow is singular noun, cows is plural form of noun. Okay students, now I am going to discuss about the auxiliary verb. Those are about the main verbs. Now I am going to discuss about the auxiliary verb. In the case of auxiliary verb, I am going to discuss about the am, is, are, was, were, have, has, do and does. I am going to introduce which are the singular and which are plural auxiliary verb. Am, it is used with I. Others, is and are. In these two auxiliary verb, is singular and are is plural. Likewise, in was and were, in the case of was and were, was is singular verb, auxiliary verb, and were is plural auxiliary verb. But these verbs are used as a auxiliary verb also, helping verb also, or main verb also. But anyway, we must say is singular, are is plural, was is singular, were is plural, have and has. In the case of have and has, have is plural, has is singular form of auxiliary verb also. Likewise, in the case of do and does, the do is plural auxiliary verb, does is singular auxiliary verb. And at last we must say the singular form of verbs. What are the singular form of verbs? The singular verbs are all verb 5, form of verb 5, is, was, has, does. These are singular verbs. Likewise, verb 1, are, where, have and do are plural form of verbs. And now I'm going to define the singular. What is singular verb? A singular verb is a word. Singular verb is a word showing what has been done, is being done, or will be done, that is used with a singular subject in a sentence. A singular subject is one made up of a noun or pronoun that represents one person, place, things, or idea. Singular verbs are third person singular verbs. Singular verbs are third person singular verbs which ends in letter s or es in the case of main verb. Simply, we define that singular verb are those verbs that are generally used or agreed with singular subjects. Singular form of verbs are verb 5 form of main verb: is, was, has, and does. These are the singular form of verbs. Likewise, simply we must say that plural verbs are those verbs that are generally used with plural subjects. Plural form of verbs are verb 1 form of main verbs. Plural form of verbs are verb 1 form of main verbs are, where, have, do, likewise verb 1 form also. These are the plural verbs. But we don't think in the terms of singular or plural verbs. But to understand, we describe in this way. But actually, in the case of English language, we don't think in the terms of singular or plural verbs. Rather, we think in terms of a singular or plural verb form. We think in terms of a singular or plural verb form. Every verb has both forms, though sometimes they are the same. Confusingly, most verbs take a plural form in the opposite fashion from the way nouns do. That is, we often add an s to the ends when it is singular, and we take off the s when it is plural. We must think based on the verb in the main verb. For example, we say he writes, but we say we write. We say he writes, but we say we write. This is very common for the present tense. However, when we move to a different tense, things change. So we say I have written, he has written. Listen carefully. I have written, he has written, they have written. And confusingly, we will notice that the singular I forms looks more like the plural forms. In some of the case, with the subject I agrees with plural verb. In some of the case, we must analyze by looking the sentences, different sentences, and we can find out. But easily we can say that with I we can use verb 1, am, in auxiliary verb am. In past, the past form of am is was is used. Likewise, in the case of have and has, have is used. Have is also plural form of verb. Do, does, in the case of do, does, do is used. So that with the I, here is I have told you also, the singular I form looks more like the plural forms. In some of the case, it also agrees with the plural verb form also. Okay students, you have understood about the what are the singular subject and plural subject, what are the singular verb form and plural verb form. You have understood now. After that, after knowing it, And about the singular plural subjects also, now we must discuss about the some rules under subject-verb agreement that teaches us what types of subject take plural, what types of subjects take singular or plural verb. Now let's talk it. First I am going to tell some example. Listen carefully. It is better to write in your note copy. A girl wear a shirt or skirt. A girl wears a skirt. It is better. A girl wears W-E-A-R-S wears a skirt. A girl wear is not correct because a girl is singular noun, so that we must use the singular verb form W-E-A-R-S wears. Likewise, in the second example, girls wear skirts. Girls wear skirts. She has a red balloon. She has a red balloon. They have a red balloon. In the above examples, a girl, she or he are singular subjects and they agree with singular verbs wears and has. Similarly, there are girls and they are the plural subjects and agrees with the plural verbs wear and have. The singular subject he, she, it, a boy, milk, etc. This is singular subject, so we must be use the singular verb. Is, was, has, does, verb 5. Likewise, if the subjects are plural subjects, likewise they, we, you, boys, people, etc. and they take plural verb are, were, have, do and verb 1. Okay students, after it I am going to discuss about the rules directly. So our first 1 number rule is singular subjects take singular verbs. Singular subjects take singular verbs and plural subject takes plural verbs. It is simple rules. Singular subject, singular verb, plural subject, plural verb. Look at the example. He sleeps, they sleep. He is singular subject, sleeps is singular form of verb. They sleep, they is plural subject and sleep is plural form of verb. A boy was there. A boy was there. Many boys were there. A child likes chocolates. A child likes chocolates. Children like chocolates. A dog has a tail. A dog has a tail. Dogs have tails. These are the examples. And rules number second. Listen carefully. News. By reading, it looks like the plural subject. News. Physics, politics, innings, missiles, etc. are the singular subject. News, physics, politics, innings, missiles, etc. They are the singular subject, although they look like the plurals. Looks like the plural, but they are the singular. And with these subjects, we must use the singular verb. So that I said it looks like the plural, but they are not plural noun. So that these singular noun agrees with the singular verbs is, was, has, does and verb 5. Look at the example. Bad news travels fast. Bad news travels fast. Politics is a dirty game. politics is a dirty game. Physics was taught by Mr. Thapa. Physics, not where. Physics was taught by Mr. Thapa. Likewise, rule number 3, listen carefully. Somebody, someone, nobody, nothing, everybody, everything, everyone, etc. are treated as a singular subject. Somebody, someone, nobody, nothing, everybody, everything. Means at the last there is body and one and thing. In that case, they are treated as a singular subject and come with singular verb also. This singular subject agrees with the singular verb. Is, was, has, does and verb 5. However, plural pronouns are usually used in the place of them. However, the plural pronouns are usually used in the place of them. For example, everybody presented their proposal. Look at this other example also. Somebody was in the hall. Somebody was in the hall. Nobody has completed the work. Nobody has completed the work. Everything is all right. Everything is all right. Everything, nobody, somebody. This subject take singular verb was, has and is. Okay, now note down the question number 4. If you are writing the rule number 4, subject with every or each, subject with every or each agree with singular verb also. Subject with every or each agree with singular verb. Look at these examples. Every boy and girls, every boy and girl was, listen carefully, every boy and girl was invited in the party. Every man and woman has to work. Each boy meets the principal one by one. Each boy meets the principal one by one. Each packet contains fresh juice. These are the example. So that we must say subject with each or every agree with singular verbs. Likewise, question number 5. If the subject of a sentence is there, it agrees with singular verbs. If the noun used after, it is singular and it agrees with plural verbs if the noun is plural. Suppose there is a suitcase. There is verb and after is there is a suitcase. So that is singular. So that here is used the is. There are suitcases. There are suitcases in the apartment. After are there is suitcases. There is a after auxiliary verb or after the verb there is a plural subject, plural noun. So that there is used the are. So listen carefully. There is a suitcase in the apartment. There are suitcases plural form in the apartment. There is a dog in the hall. Listen carefully. There was a dog in the hall. There were dogs in the hall. Example. This example clarify you about this rule. Now question number 6. One of, either of, neither of and each of come with plural nouns. Listen carefully. One of, either of, neither of and each of come with plural nouns and agrees with the singular verbs. This subject agree with singular verbs. Is, was, has, does and verb 5. Look at the example. One of his friends. Listen carefully. One of his friends was walking into the room. There is a one of his friends, that is plural, but anyway, one of his friends was walking into the room. According to the rules, these nouns agree with singular verbs. Either of his books is torn. Either of his books is torn. Neither of her sisters works in a clinic. Each of my workers has helped me a lot. Okay, student, now I'm going to describe the rules number 7. The subject with either or, it join the two subjects, either or, neither nor. This agrees with the verb according to the second subject. Listen, there is two subject. It join the two subject. Just I have told you. The subject with either or, neither nor, or likewise, like such type of joining words, agrees with the verbs according to the second subject. If the any and the conjunction they join the two subject, at that conditions this agrees with the verb according to the second subject, means nearer subject of the verb. Either a boy or a girl. Listen, either a boy or a girl visits the zoo every Saturday. There is girl or girl is singular, visits is singular verb. Likewise, in next one is either a boy or girls. In this second example, either a boy or girls visit the zoo every Saturday. There is a girls, plural subject, plural verb visit. Likewise, now listen, third one is neither boys or girls. Neither boys nor girls visit the zoo every Saturday. Neither boys, both subject are plural, but anyway, the verb is used nearer subject, girls, that is plural. So that visit is plural form of verb. It is verb 1. Okay. Likewise, our next rules. Rule number 8. The number of, listen carefully, the number of plus plural nouns. Listen carefully. The number of plus plural nouns agrees with singular verbs. A number of plus plural nouns agrees with plural verbs. Right, once again, the number of, there is a the article. The first one is, there is a the article, the number of plus plural nouns. Next one is or number of, there is a plus plural nouns. The first one is the number of plus plural noun takes singular verbs. A number of plus plural nouns takes plural verbs. Look at the example. The number of restaurants. The number of restaurants in the city is very expensive. The number of restaurants in the city is very expensive. In Kathmandu, a number of restaurants are very expensive. So that with the number there is article the can determines the noun will be or maybe plurals, but article can determines the verbs. The article with number, it takes singular verbs. A article or number of there is a articles plus plural nouns agrees with plural verbs. The number of, likewise another example I am going to keep here. The number of boys has failed in math. Number of boys have failed in maths. Okay, likewise rule number 9. If the determiners more than, all, some, most of, a lot of, half of, a quarter of, 2/3 of, a good deal of, rest of, some of, none of. These are the determiners. These come with the uncountable and singular countable nouns. The subject are singular and they agree with singular verbs. with these determiners come with uncountable or singular countable noun. Uncountable or singular countable noun, at that condition these subjects take singular verbs and they agree with the singular verbs. If these comes with plural countable noun, listen carefully, if these come with plural countable nouns, then they agree with plural verbs. They agree with plural verbs. Look at the example. More than one girl has drunk milk. More than 10 girls have drunk milk. All the books were borrowed from the library. All the milk was split over. So that with these determiners, if the subject is singular, and it also they also take singular verbs. If there is a plural countable noun, uncountable, we must say it is also the singular, because we cannot change the uncountable noun into plural. So that uncountable noun or singular countable noun, at that times we must use the singular verb. If there is a plural countable noun with these determiners, just I have told you, said you, with this in that conditions we must use the plural verbs. Okay, all the milks was split over. Some boys don't live with their parents. Some sugar was added in his tea. Most of the notebooks, it is countable plural noun, most of the notebooks have been checked. Most of the money, it is uncountable money. Most of the money has been spent. Half of the books, books is plural, it is plural countable noun. Half of the books contain good poems, there is a plural verb. Half of the book, only book, contains good poems. Okay, in this way we must understand about these rules. Now I am going to tell the another rules. The rule number 10. A bucket of, a series of, a herd of, a team of, these are the collective noun. They shows the plurals. That collective means it is the group of, there are the mores. But anyway, what types of the verb it takes, now I am going to describe here, listen carefully. A bucket of, a series of, a herd of, a team of, army of, etc. come with plural nouns, and agrees with singular verbs. Come with plural noun, but they agrees with singular verbs. Simply. Okay, now example. A bucket of flowers. The bucket of flowers was given to each nurse. Bucket of flowers was given to each nurse. A series of books was the series of books was published last year. The series of books was published last year. A team of players has decided to play the next tournament. These are the example. These example clarify you about these rules also. Now I am going to talk about the rule number 11. Shorten units. Listen, units. Kilometer, meter. Shorten units, measurement, distance, amounts, and arithmetic calculations. Units, measurements, distance, amounts, and arithmetic calculations agree with singular verbs. But it looks like the plural, but it takes singular verb. 10 kilometer is a long distance. 10 kilometer, 1 to 10. It is more than 1. We think in this way. But 10 kilometers is 1 unit. 10 kilometers is a long distance. So that it takes the singular verb. 10 kilometers is a long distance. 2 plus 2. 2 plus 2 makes 4. In the arithmetic calculation, 2 plus 2 makes 4. 2 plus 2, there is 2. But that is singular subject, so that it takes the singular verb also. 10,000 rupees, 10,000. But it is not the plural. 10,000 rupees, it is a amounts. 10,000 rupees is a big amount for me. 10,000 rupees is a big amount for me. So that once again you listen carefully. Unit, the subject refers unit, measurements, distance, amounts, arithmetic calculations. These, if in the subject such type of subject is there, we must take or choose the singular verb. We must keep use with singular verb. Okay student, now likewise the rule number 12. In 12 number rules is that two nouns giving one single meaning. Two nouns but giving one single meaning agrees with singular verb. Two things but it shows the one things, only one things comes with together always. Two nouns giving the two single meaning agree with singular verbs. Look at the example. Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. Bread and butter is my favorite food. If taken as a single meal, bread and butter is single meal. It shows the single. So that is singular subject. His bag and baggage was there. His bag and baggage was there. So that this example is going to tell you two nouns. There is two noun by joining end. But anyway, there are two, but we cannot say they cannot give the two different meaning. They give the single meaning that is used as a single informations. At that condition, we must use the singular verb. Likewise, in question number 13, I am going to talk about the question number 13. Okay, now I am going to tell the question number 13. The rest information I will tell you in my next class. Our time is going to be over. My friend technician has raised the hands that our program time is going to be over. Anyway, in my next class I will describe other rest rules. You should practice at your home. Those according to the rules you must practice. If you have the practice book, there is a concourse subject is there. You should open and do practice a lot of. If you feel difficult, if you cannot get the idea, you can consult with us in the comment. Keep the comment in your in our FM's Facebook page. In this class we discuss only this much subject matter, or the rest subject matter will be discussed in our next classes. Thanks for my students and other listeners too. I would like to thanks to all, and I have to say the goodbye. Thank you.
अहिले तपाई इटाहरी एफएम 92.5 मेगाहर्ज सुन्दै हुनुहुन्छ। स्टुडियो टाइम यति बेला 3 बजेको छ। It's 3 o'clock.